She hadn't spoken in 3 days when the Basset Hound climbed into her lap. Not hadn't spoken as in quiet. Hadn't spoken as in the words had stopped, as in something behind Valerie Marsh's eyes had shut down between Tuesday morning and Friday evening, and the 34-year-old woman who had been managing spreadsheets, folding laundry, and narrating her 11-month-old daughter's bath routine was now sitting on the couch at 2 p.m. with her hands in her lap, staring at a point on the wall approximately 6 inches above the television. Her husband, Ben, noticed on Wednesday he came home from work and the house was clean, the baby was fed and changed, the dishes were done, but Valerie was on the couch, eyes open, not watching anything, not reading, not scrolling, just present in the way a piece of furniture is present, technically in the room. "Hey, you okay?" She nodded, but she didn't speak. Ben assumed exhaustion, first-year parenting, sleep deprivation. He made dinner, bathed the baby, put her down. Valerie went to bed at 8 p.m. without saying goodnight. Thursday was the same. The house functioned. Amelia was cared for. Valerie was somewhere inside the body that moved through the rooms, but the person, the one with the voice, and the opinions and the running commentary on everything from weather to diaper brands, was absent. Ben called Valerie's mother, Carol, on Thursday night. Carol said it sounded like postpartum depression. Ben said Valerie had been fine for 11 months. Carol said it doesn't always start immediately. Sometimes it builds. Friday morning, Ben left for work. The baby was in the playpen. Valerie was on the couch. If you stay for stories about the ones who find us when we can't find ourselves, subscribe to Snouts and Souls. Winston was a 7-year-old Basset Hound with ears that dragged the floor and a body that suggested he had been assembled from spare parts by someone with a generous interpretation of aerodynamics. He weighed 62 pounds and moved with the urgency of a sunset. His primary activities were sleeping, sighing, and positioning himself in the exact center of every hallway so that navigation required either stepping over him or going around. He had never climbed on the couch. In 7 years, not once. His joints were stiff, his belly cleared the cushion edge by approximately 2 inches, and the effort required exceeded anything Winston had ever considered worthwhile. At 10:47 a.m. on Friday, Winston climbed onto the couch. The baby monitor, positioned on the shelf behind the couch, captured the audio, the sound of claws on leather, a grunt, the heavy landing of 62 pounds arriving at a destination that had never been visited, then silence, then something else, a sound Ben would listen to 40 times that night when he scrubbed through the recording, a sound that would make him pull the car over on his way to work Monday morning when it replayed in his memory without warning. Valerie was crying, not sobbing, not wailing, the particular sound of someone who has been holding something inside for so long that when it finally releases, it comes out as a sustained, airless exhalation, the sound of pressure, equalizing after days of containment. Winston pressed his body against hers. His head, enormous, heavy, warm, settled under her thigh. His ears pooled across her lap like velvet curtains. He exhaled, the sigh of a dog who has arrived exactly where he needs to be. Has someone in your life ever gone quiet, truly quiet, and an animal was the first to respond? Tell us. Sometimes the ones who can't speak are the first to hear. Silence. Ben came home at noon. He found Valerie on the couch with Winston in her lap, her hand buried in his ear, her face swollen, her eyes red. She spoke, the first words in 3 days. The screening questionnaire confirmed late-onset postpartum depression, the variant that arrives not in the first weeks but in the first year, building slowly beneath the surface of competent caregiving until the foundation cracks. The psychiatrist Valerie began seeing the following week explained that late-onset PPD often presents as emotional flattening rather than sadness. The patient doesn't cry. The patient stops speaking. The patient continues functioning, feeding, changing, bathing, while the internal experience collapses into a gray, soundless void. Dogs detect cortisol through skin emissions, the psychiatrist said when Ben described Winston's behavior. But more than that, dogs read the absence of normal behavior. Your wife stopped speaking. Stop making eye contact. Stop producing the vocal and physical signals that Winston had cataloged over 7 years of cohabitation. To a dog, the sudden absence of familiar signals is as alarming as any new threat. Winston hadn't responded to Valerie's depression. Every soul that climbs the couch for the first time deserves to know why. Subscribe to Snouts and Souls. Valerie started medication. She started therapy. She started speaking, haltingly at first, then in sentences, then in the running commentary Ben had been missing for 3 days that felt like 3 months. Winston returned to his position in the center of the hallway, floor level, ears on the tile, sighing at intervals that suggested the universe was, on the whole, slightly disappointing. He never climbed the couch again. Ben asked the behaviorist if Winston would do it again if Valerie needed him. He'll know before she does, and he'll get there before anyone asks. Valerie kept a photo of Winston on the couch on her phone. Not framed, not posted. Just there, in the camera roll between a grocery list and a photo of Amelia's first tooth. The photo of the moment when a dog, who had never climbed anything in 7 years, climbed the one thing that mattered. Because some souls don't wait to be invited. They just arrive.